from the Hoosier Dome in downtown Indianapolis for tonight's first-round game in the Midwest region as the McNeese State Cowboys meet the Fighting Illini of Illinois. And a very pleasant good evening, everybody. I'm Mick Hubert. It's my pleasure to be calling the play-by-play for tonight's game. Working alongside is Jim Gibbons, who will be providing the expert analysis in this game. Jim, we're excited to have the #1 seed here tonight. Illinois, they're a prohibitive favorite in this game.
Well, the Illini are on a roll and seem to be peaking at the right time. They've won 9 out of their last 10, and they have Ken DeGill back in the starting lineup. He broke his foot in January, and without him, they were 8-4, and with him, they were 19-0. He adds another dimension to this team. He is outstanding offensively and defensively, and he has great court awareness.
Now warming up right behind us, the McNeese State Cowboys. They come in here as the number 16 seed. The worst record in the field, Jim, at 16-13.
Well, they have everything to gain and nothing to lose, really. They seem to be loose and confident, and they certainly aren't acting like a number 16 seed. They feel the first 5 minutes are critical. They've got to play well early, and they have to have big games from Poulard and Cutright.
The McNeese State Cowboys come in here as champions of the Southland Conference. Illinois comes in as the second-place finisher in the Big Ten, but nonetheless, they are here tonight as the #1 seed. So we'll return to the Hoosier Dome for the introduction of tonight's starting lineups in just a moment.
Me too. Nothing's better than a fresh, hot Pizza Hut pizza, and nothing's worse than not having enough. With loads of your favorite toppings and 2 layers of cheese, one's never enough.
Ready for the second pizza?
Pizza Hut, making it great.
For information on Final Four Highlights videos, write to NCAA Productions, Post Office Box 1906, Mission, Kansas 66201, or call 913-384-3220.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Hardee's. They're out to win you over. By True Value Hardware, your store first choice. By your local Super Chevy dealers in Central Illinois, we drive Chevy. And by your Case IH dealers in Urbana, Farmers City, Oakland, Hoopeston, and Clinton.
The Fighting Illini making their 13th NCAA tournament appearance, their 7th straight under Coach Lou Henson, and the McNeese State Cowboys coming in here from Lake Charles, Louisiana, in their very first NCAA appearance. The Cowboys have won 5 in a row, which snapped a 6-game losing streak. As for Illinois, really motoring down the stretch. The Illini won their final 6 and 9 of the last 10 for Lou Henson. So Illinois at 27-4 against McNeese State, 16-13. And now for the introduction of tonight's starting lineups, let's join the Hoosier Dome public address announcer. Here is Rick Miles.
Good evening and welcome to the Hoosier Dome for first-round competition in the Midwest region of the 1989 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship. The Midwestern Collegiate Conference and Butler University are your proud co-hosts for tonight's competition. Here now the starting lineups for tonight's first-round game between McNeese State University and the University of Illinois. For McNeese State at forward, a 6'5" senior from Prairieville, Louisiana, number 11, Tab Harris. For Illinois at forward, a 6'6" junior from Chicago, number 25, Nick Anderson. For McNeese State at forward, a 6'9" junior from Gaydon, Louisiana, number 40, Mark Thompson. For Illinois at forward, a 6'6" senior from Aurora, Illinois, number 33, Kenny Battle. For McNeese State at center, a 6'10" junior from DeQuincy, Illinois, number 23, Anthony Anthony Poulard. For Illinois at center, a 6'8" senior from Chicago, number 45, Lowell Hamilton. For McNeese State at guard, a 6'4" senior from Zawali, number 5, Michael Cutright. For Illinois at guard, a 6'4" junior from Matson, Illinois, number 13, Kendall Gill. For McNeese State at guard, a 6' senior from Clearwater, Florida, number 12, Terry Grigley. For Illinois at guard, a 6' 6" junior from Carbondale, Illinois, number 35, Stephen Barno. The head coach for McNeese State, now in his second year with the Cowboys, is Steve Welch. And the head coach for Illinois, now in his 14th year with the Illini, is Lou Henson. Officials for...
And we'll return with the opening tip-off after these messages.
Starship, so it's only natural I'd fly around in something space age. My new Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, totally redesigned for the future. It's powered by a fuel-injected V6, monitored by an onboard computer. I guess some things were just meant for the next generation. Ready, Dad?
I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
Steady as she goes.
There's only one place for that original recipe taste. Come visit the Colonel. Dive into original recipe chicken. Pick up some Kentucky nuggets. Take a big bite of a Chicken Little sandwich. They all have the Colonel's secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. For that one and only taste, there's only one side of the road.
Cross the road to Kentucky Fried Chicken, yeah. Cross the road, cross the road.
Mick Hubert, along with Jim Gibbons, back at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Illinois against McNeese State. The Illini come in averaging 87 a game, giving up 74. McNeese coming in averaging 74, giving up 73. And the Cowboys in their first NCAA appearance against an Illinois team which has been here, Jim, 7 consecutive seasons.
And interesting, neither team has played in a dome stadium. McNeese has not only not played in a dome stadium, but only once have they played before more than 10,000 people, and that was at Iowa when they had 15,000. So it's going to be interesting, and they said the first 5 minutes are going to absolutely now. They're going to play a lot of gimmick defenses, some zones, some man-to-man, and triangle or two, and that's what they're starting out in.
Bardo missing the jump shot. Illinois is a 51% shooting team. McNeese is a 49% shooting team on the year. Terry Grigley, the point guard for McNeese. Number 11 is Tab Harris.
There's the matchup I was looking for. Bardo, the best defensive player, is on Cutright.
Nice entry inside. Couldn't get it, and the Illini have the rebound. Hamilton on the drive to the glass. Anderson kept it alive, but Poulard has it for McNeese State.
Now, tempo's going to be important here, Mick. McNeese State said they wouldn't sit on the ball, but he wants to score in about the 70s. Obviously, the Illini want to score up in the 80s and 90s. They're going to be more up-tempo than McNeese is.
There's Steve Welch, second season, after 8 years and as assistant coach at Louisiana Tech.
Illinois is going to play a man-to-man, and they play a very aggressive man-to-man defense.
Cutright couldn't get it to fall, and Illinois with the basketball. Stephen Bardo. Kendall Gill making his first start since coming back off the foot injury. The turnaround jumper in the lane. A foul has been called on the play. So Illinois got the entry pass inside the interior of the McNeese State defense, and now the Illini have a chance for a three-point play.
Kenny Battle, the heart and soul of that basketball team, giving them great leadership. A fantastic leaper, transfer from Northern. Look at that, boy, he can spring. A great leaper, and he is a very, very emotional basketball player. They're going to go right into their press. Trapping that ball out of bounds.
This is Terry Grigley being guarded by Kendall Gill.
They play a very, very tough man-to-man, and they'll switch if they have to.
Nice pass inside. Mark Thompson couldn't get it to fall, and the Illini come out with the ball and leading 3-0. Gill, footer in the lane, and another McNeese State foul, and this is perhaps, Jim, Steve Welch's worst fear, how his team would play in the first minute or two.
Precisely, and the interesting thing about it, Mick, is that McNeese State is getting very good shots at the other end of the floor. It's not like they're not in sync and their chemistry isn't good. They're working well in their half-court offense. Nothing's dropping for them. There's the push right there. You could see the body on the drive. Not a bad call. Tab Harris simply got him with the body down below.
So the Illini with back-to-back threes the old-fashioned way, and it's a 6-0 Illinois lead. Nice drive by Grigley, and a whistle, and a foul on Illinois.
See, McNeese is a little bigger with a 6'10 Poulard and a 6'9 Mark Thompson, and they've got some height and weight. But I want to tell you, Illinois has great, great athletes, and you don't have to be 6'10 or 11 to be able to rebound. You just have to have that quickness, and that's what Illinois has.
Cutright has missed another shot, and a foul is on Lowell Hamilton. Jim, I think it would be fair to say that Illinois has never really recovered from what happened to them in the Austin Peay game in the tournament 2 years ago. They've been carrying that burden with them.
Sure they have.
Time.
They've got the monkeys on their back, and it's been 2 years, Austin Peay and then Villanova. But they've got a junior-senior lineup right now, and that's a plus for them.
And the McNeese State Cowboys a little bit rattled here. And the Illini with a 6-0 lead have the basketball. This is Stephen Bardo, a junior from Carbondale, Illinois. That's Gill. Good entry to Hamilton. It's 8-0. Steve Welch has to be concerned. He's got 2 feet on the deck here. It's 8-0.
Well, he's getting up because if they don't get anything this possession, next time he's got it, he's going to get a timeout. He's not going to wait for a TV time.
There's an Illinois ball again. 3-on-1. Bardo to Battle, and Kenny Battle let it go off his hands and out of bounds.
Steve wants to get a timeout, and he's not quite sure. He's just telling them to take it easy and to slow down. They just have to get that first one in. He's the coach that said that backboard's going to look like a postage stamp to my players.
17-17 remaining in the first half. Illinois 8, McNeese State nothing. Cab Harris swings it around. Cutright. Poulard. Is there a lid on the hoop? Poulard gets it to go, and a foul is called on Kenny Battle.
Look at their bench. They finally realized they broke the drought. Went about 3 minutes. But, boy, that was great determination right there. And Poulard went up for that second and third time. Had a big game against North Texas State in the championship game with 24 points. And he can hit from the perimeter, and he can also post up, so he can get at you both ways.
Poulard averaging 17.4 a game, and he has a 3, so we're off to an unusual beginning in as much as we've had 3 3-point plays. And it's 8-3 Illinois. Bardo controlling for Illinois. That's Gill through the middle. Hesitation jumper. Kendall Gill, he averages 15-6, and he has 5.
See, they just don't simply want to play a man. McNeese doesn't against Illinois because they just can't match up with them in terms of quickness. That's why he's going to try some zones and some triangles in 2.
Terry Grigley. That's Michael Cutright. Cutright, nothing but net. He averages 20 a game.
See, that time Kenny Battle was on him. Bardo was inside guarding an inside player.
And a whistle and a foul against McNeese. Cab Harris picking up the foul.
See, offensively, Mick, against the triangle in 2, you've got to have good cutting inside. You've got to have good ball movement, and you can't stand around. That's what most people do against those defenses. They stand around, and that's exactly what McNeese wants Illinois to do, is to stand around.
Kendall Gill trying to go inside, and what a pass from Kendall Gill. Battle gets the dunk.
Now you see why his leadership is so critical. He came back and they beat Indiana, they beat Iowa, they beat Michigan, lost 4 Big Ten games when he was out, and it may have cost them the Big Ten championship.
Cutright wheeling and dealing in traffic, kicks it out to Harris with a 3. Mark Thompson keeping it alive off the glass. Mark Thompson, he averages 12 a game. 12-7, Illinois by 5. Has hit his first 2 shots, and they say that's the key for Lowell. If he hits early, he can have a great game. If he misses, he might not
you bet.
be there.
And he's not going to quit shooting, I'll tell you that. He's just going to keep firing them up there.
Wrigley driving. If he looks like a football player driving, it's because he was a football player. Terry Wrigley started as a defensive back in Florida State in 1984, but he has switched to basketball due to an injury.
Take a look. See, that's a pretty good call. The fans weren't happy, but the majority of them here are cheering for the Illini anyway and aren't very objective about it. But this is pretty good. Drive to the basket, move just a little bit to the side, wasn't straight ahead. If he'd have gotten him straight up, body to body, then you would have had a charge.
So on the free throw line for the Cowboys, Terry Wrigley, 6-foot senior from Clearwater, Florida. McNeese State as a team, not a good free-throwing one, 63% overall. So the Illini lead is 14-8.
One of the other reasons Mickey wants to use the triangle in 2 is he'll pressure the people outside, and then he'll keep his inside people out of foul trouble. And that's important because they don't have that bench.
Illinois keeps it alive. Kendall Gill. Way out of bounds to McNeese State. This is a big possession for the Cowboys because if they score, Jim, they're down 4, and they would have at least momentarily weathered the storm.
You bet, and they'll be right at the 5-minute mark. There's 15:04 to go right now, and considering they haven't been hitting well, as you said, 14-8, that's not too bad, and Illinois got out of the starting gate very well.
That's Coulard to Cutright. Cutright has averaged 29 points a game in his last 6 contests.
Well, last regular season game, the young man had 51.
Great entry. And Thompson got it down, and McNeese State got the hook they wanted. Steve Welch says, that's all right. That's what we wanted to do.
The last 6 games, he's averaging 29 per and 10 rebounds. That's when you know a guy is on a roll. They're doing a lot of matching in the back, playing a lot of man-to-man as much as they can and matching in the back.
So, Illinois scores the first 8, but McNeese hangs tough. And with 14-17 remaining, there's a timeout on the floor with your score. Illinois 14, McNeese State 10.
Being neutral, the Swiss enjoy the best of all worlds. Cars from Italy, clothes from Paris, shoes from England, and from America, Old Spice Liquid Stick, a new antiperspirant. With the smoothness of a roll-on and the speed of a stick, it also combines the best of all worlds for total protection. After all, nothing's more important to the Swiss than good relations. Old Spice Liquid Stick, the world's most advanced form of protection.
BMW 325IS, Mercedes 560 SL, outstanding. But compare them to Riata by Buick. Riata has more standard luxury features than BMW, but thousands less. And Riata's contemporary styling is less than half Mercedes price. In fact, Consumer's Digest calls Riata one of the best buys in domestic cars. Riata by Buick. The competition pales by comparison.
We use 100% pure American beef because we never forget you can always go someplace else. At Hardee's, we use real dairy cheese because we never forget you can always go someplace else.
Any battle and Kendall Gill each have 5 points, Jim, but this battle don't came gift wrap.
Yeah, that's something that's worked on every day by most teams. It's the eye contact. Look at it. They took the weak side help away. The postman was up in front of him. Battle slipped in behind. Good timing. And, of course, I said, a great leaper.
So McNeese State now can cut it to 2 on this possession as we hit the 14-minute mark of the first half.
They're using an offense that a lot of teams use, the 1-2-2, and just popping people out.
That ball is halfway down for Cutright, but the rebound comes to Illinois. And that's Nick Anderson. Low posting Irvin Small. The turnaround jumper wouldn't go. Harris clears it out for the Cowboys.
3-on-1.
Wrigley centering the break. Takes it down the middle. And a traveling call in Illinois. The Cowboys will keep it.
See, Wrigley is saying to himself, Mick, that's my fault. Once he drove himself too far down the lane, and he had people in both wings. See the man coming up on the left side?
He's got to give it up early.
Absolutely. He's got to stop at that free throw line extended. He didn't give his people a chance on the sides, and he made it easy on the defensive player that was standing back there.
Coming in for Illinois is Larry Smith for Lou Henson's team. Where's number 23? Bardo goes out. Dwayne Davis is in for McNeese State. Davis has the ball now. That's Cutright. Poulard from 17. Rebound Small. Larry Smith controlling for the Illini. A team really without a center. They're guards and forwards. They're also juniors and seniors.
Yeah, they do not have a true center, and that's what Henson said yesterday. Lou said we're a team of forwards and guards.
Interchangeable parts. Smith trying to get inside the Small. Against the double team, the turnaround shot. McNeese the rebound. Dwayne Davis was the starting point guard for McNeese last year, but with the arrival of Terry Grigley, he has become a reserve. Cutright is 6'4" and 220, and number 5.
See, they're in a switching defense, and so Anderson was guarding Cutright that time.
A nice steal by Gill. Anderson couldn't quite get the handle, but he was undercut by Terry Grigley. Committed the foul.
Just a little quicker with the hands, and Grigley would have had him. He really had the right idea, but he got the body. Watch, he's going to get the body in here just along. That's good anticipation. See, he read the pass, closed the lane, now got the ball up in the front. Boy, just one more movement right there, and Grigley would have had him.
Back live, the Illini keep it as Gill retrieves an errant ball in the corner. Battle on the baseline. Poulard the rebound.
The Illini are really having a tough time getting into their half-court offense, Mick. The defense that they're using has really been effective. They're not letting them pound it inside. They're not letting them get second and third efforts, and they're just not in sync offensively in its half-court offense.
Poulard drives around Battle, and we get an offensive foul whistled against Anthony Poulard. That'll be foul number 2 on the Cowboy forward. Poulard is 6'10" and 220, only a junior. Just under the 12-minute mark. Illinois scored the first 8, but they have gone about 3 minutes without a hoop. Anderson. Rebound comes to McNeese.
Interesting, because they're only getting that one effort every time down. The defense that they're using has really caused some problems.
Grigley works against Gill. Davis reverses to Cutright. Cutright is yet to knock one of those shots down, and there's a foul called inside. No, a travel. Jim, there are a lot of Illinois people here, the proximity to Indianapolis.
Sure.
But if you're not born in the state of Illinois, I get the feeling the rest of the folks here are rooting for McNeese.
They may very well be.
Especially if the underdog can hang in there.
You bet.
An even trade in the turnover column at this point. At 3, Larry Smith over the Battle screen. And there's a battle inside. And a whistle and a foul called on McNeese State. Let's check that. It's on Illinois. And it's Larry Smith. The first foul on Larry Smith. 11-11 to play in the first half. It's 14-10 Illinois.
And they're going right into the full court pressure. Man to man, they're going to trap. Sometimes they trap the first pass, other times they don't. They trapped it that time. Now it's just a nuisance, and they're falling back one-on-one. And that's, you can dribble against that kind of a press, against the traps and everything. You got to keep the ball off the floor.
Dwayne Davis, left side Poulard. Tony Johnson's also in the game for McNeese. And there's the foul on Kendall Gill.
Had the right idea. He was going to overplay that passing lane, but he was just about a step slow right there, or he would have had themselves that steal. See, one of the words you use in defense is reaction. Watch. You've got to react to what is going to happen, not to what just happened. And Kendall was just about a step behind right there. He had the right idea, just didn't execute it too soon.
Illinois has committed 6 fouls now, so the next one will put the Cowboys on the line. That's Poulard. Nice move. Left it short. Loose ball comes out. Kendall Gill. Off his shoe top. The other way for Dwayne Davis on the run out. Nice move, Davis. And McNeese State has chopped an 8-point deficit down to 2.
And a pretty good move right there, because he made it look like he was going to pass to a man on the wing, and that really helped him lay it right in. Nice move by Davis. Best quickness on the team, and you saw it right there.
And Jim, Illinois has gone ice cold.
That's what I told you. The defense is bothering. But you know what? They're not taking enough time to get into its half-court offense and try to figure out how they want to break down the defense. And that's playing right into McNeese State's hands.
Now the Cowboys can tie the score here. Just under 10 minutes for the first half. That's Dwayne Davis and Michael Cutright. Cutright's got a close shot, and he banked it in, and the game is tied at 14. McNeese State battling back to a big deficit early.
See that? No, they have not got a second shot that I can recall, except if it happened very early in the game.
The Cowboys can take the lead. McNeese State is 16-13. Illinois 27-4.
Yeah, this is where McNeese ought to take its time. Don't be in any hurry.
Cutright knocks it in.
I think Lou's got to get a timeout pretty soon and just settle down. Try to regroup and say, hey, this is what we've got to do offensively.
The Cowboys have outscored Illinois 16-6 in the last 5 minutes. Larry Smith to battle. It's going to be out of bounds to McNeese State. And listen to the crowd here in the Hoosier Dome. McNeese State, a heavy underdog, leading Illinois. 8:41 left. McNeese leads by 2.
It's time to visit one of the world's great garden spots. The Lawn and Garden Department at your local True Value hardware store, where you'll find enough nitrogen-rich Green Thumb lawn food to cover 5,000 square feet for just $6.49. This Green Thumb drop spreader with handle-mounted flow control is only $24.88. And choose your favorite Green Thumb shrub or garden fertilizer. They're just $1.77 each at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
12, 11, 10. Loser takes out the trash.
For a week.
He's late. He's late. It's up.
Oh, but there's still 5 seconds left on the clock.
Time out. The Illini are on. Illinois.
Today's game is brought to you by your Super Chevy dealers. In Central Illinois, we drive Chevy.
Get ready for quality. Magnum quality. Warranty coverage for a full 5 years or $5,000. More coverage on powerful engines. Magnum coverage. More protection on more efficient transmissions. Magnum protection. Full coverage from top to bottom, front to back. The best warranty and the best tractors in the business.
See Berkey's Farm Store in Hoopston, Oakland Farm Supply in Oakland, and George H. Dunn in Clinton.
The NCAA wants your opinion about the three-point line. Would you like to see the three-point line remain the same at 19 feet 9 inches? If you do, call 900-260-6301. Or if you want it moved to the international distance of 21 feet, call 900-260-6302. Or if you'd like to see it moved back to the pro distance of 23 feet 4 inches, call 900-260-6303. You'll be charged 60 cents per call. So McNeese State with a 2-point lead and the basketball. Illinois has gone nearly 7 minutes without scoring.
Boy, see, this is where you want to be patient. Right after a timeout, you know that Lou is upset. He's giving him an earful. Now you try to break down that defense. You're patient, burn some time off the clock, try to get a lay-in. Then that hurts even more, and then it puts pressure on them to figure we've got to come back and score at the other end.
So you really want them to work hard defensively.
Absolutely. Keep, and they play very aggressive switching defense to begin with, but don't be in any hurry. 7 on the clock right now. I'm not sure they even realize it.
Shot clock at 3 and 2, and Grigley forced it. But they burned 45 seconds, and the Illini are in a hurry. Battle. Nice hoop for Battle. Breaking a drought, which had reached 7 minutes, and the Illini tie the score. And the steal.
They had the right idea the last possession, Mick, but they just didn't execute. There's no way you should let that clock run down to that point. And I looked, and I didn't sense that they knew it was running out.
Grigley gets it inside to Poulard. A nice move by Anthony Poulard. That's his 5th point. McNeese by 2.
See how their back line is? They've got 2 people playing man-to-man. They've got Jack Thompson right in the center, not guarding anyone. See? They're playing the back 3 back there like matching, playing a zone. Got the front 2 guys out playing that man-to-man pressure. Doing a very good job of it. But I don't think that Illinois is exploiting the defense enough.
6:45 remaining first half. McNeese 18, Illinois 16. Michael Cutright from 24. He buried it. He has scored 9. The largest lead of the game for McNeese has reached to 6.
Tons of talent with a very, very strong pro-type body. Just look at him. As you said, he looks like he should be playing in a football game. But he is a confident basketball player. See, they've got Illinois standing around just a little bit.
Bardo missing. Mark Thompson the rebound. McNeese leading 21-16. 6:06 left in the first half. McNeese State 16 and 13.
Tell you the one thing Illinois is going to have to do. They better do it at the defensive end until they get themselves going offensively. So you got to turn it up a notch defensively. You can't let that team continue to score.
Here comes Kendall Gill back for Lou Henson's team, and going out is Larry Smith. Tab Harris is also on for McNeese State. And going out for the Cowboys is Tony Johnson.
You know how many times you've heard me say that defense wins games for you. Your offense keeps you in it. They're going to have to win it with their defense right now.
Marcus Liberty on the baseline for the 12-footer.
Get up!
Poulard the rebound. Poulard, all Southland Conference performer. Grigley comes right to Tad Harris. That's Cutright.
See, Poulard wanted that ball.
Mark Thompson kept it alive. Harris picked it up. And Harris missed the baseline jumper. And then, in his haste to rebound, Mark Thompson has been whistled for the foul.
See, that's what I like, boy. Poulard was really on that post, and he had Kendall Gill back right dead behind him. And see, he's talking to Cutright right now, and he said, when I'm in that kind of a position, you have got to get me that ball. And that kid, the last shot he made, Poulard, before that, it was a spectacular move.
McNeese State dominating the glass.
Dominating it at both ends. Defensively, they're doing a superb job.
Marcus Liberty comes back out the top to Bardo. Liberty on the step in. The hesitation blocked by Thompson. Anderson picked it up. And that is the first points tonight for Nick Anderson, the leading scorer for the Illini. 21-18. Looks like the Cowboys Cowboys run a little clock here now.
Using that 1-2-2, popping the low people out, playing 2-on-2 on the side, doing a good job.
Harris left it for Thompson by Liberty, and it's a jump ball, and on the alternating possession, the Cowboys will keep it.
Pretty good call. He went up for the shot. The hand was on top of the ball, and that's all it takes to constitute a jump, and a good call.
So there's a timeout here with 4:25 left in the first half. Timeout with your score. McNeese State 21, Illinois 18.
Let's get the inside story on Prairie Farms Old Recipe Ice Cream.
Remember how good ice cream used to be? Well, Prairie Farms Old Recipe still is. It's the classic ice cream made the old recipe way with fresh country cream, the best fruits, nuts, and all natural flavors. This is real ice cream from Prairie Farms, home of country fresh quality dairy products.
Not be aware of it, but you've already demonstrated your ability to operate a Toshiba copier.
Available at Printing Equipment and Products Company, Decatur.
Motor Trend's 89 Car of the Year. That's Ford. Car of the Year, 3 of the last 4 years. That's Ford. #1 volume franchise dealer in Champaign County. That's Hill Ford. For a limited time, Ford Motor Company has 4.9 APR financing or up to $1,000 cash rebates on select models. Hurry to Hill Ford for the best deal on a Ford car or truck. And remember, if you don't have a Hill Ford sticker on your car or truck, you paid too much.
Marvin Hill's a wonderful guy with a heart as pure as gold.
Hill Ford, Carriage Center, Champaign.
Jim, it took Nick Anderson 15.5 minutes to score.
Well, the leading scorer and leading rebounder, and 6th, you might add, on the single-season scoring list, about to pass Red Kerr. But, boy, that's pretty good defense when you can shut him down. That's no accident right there with Cutright. He's taken 135 three-pointers, and that's pretty good. He's shooting 36%.
Mick Hubert, along with Jim Gibbons here at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. McNeese State with a 3-point lead, 21-18, after Illinois scored the first 8 points of the game. The Cowboys hung tough, and they have the 3-point lead as we hit the 4-minute mark in the first half. Poulard missing, and a rebound to Urban Small of Illinois. This is Kendall Gill. Down to Bardo. Tried to get it inside, heavy traffic. Liberty kicks it to Bardo. Spinning, jumping, and scoring, Stephen Bardo, his first 2, and it's a 1-point lead for McNeese. This telecast presented by authority of the NCAA. Any use of this program without written consent is prohibited. The announcers for this program have been approved and contracted by NCAA Productions. A scramble at midcourt. Illinois with some nifty ball handling. And that is a quick goal for the Illini. Kendall Gill has 7, and Illinois wrestles the lead. The Illini have scored 6 in a row.
Yeah, they've picked up the tempo a little bit, and they've done it defensively. And that's what I said they were going to have to do, because they're just not doing it at the offensive end, so you've got to do it with your defense.
We have a whistle and a foul against McNeese State. Could be Anthony Poulard, and if it is Poulard, Jim, it would be foul number 3 on the key player of the Cowboys.
Let's see if it was it on Poulard. Boy, you're right, and that is. I'll tell you, I have spent a bit of this first half watching that young man, and at 6'10", 220, watch. See, that is a good call and good camera work. You saw that. They were trying to clean up that stuff inside. The officials are. The post play inside, and that was a perfect example of an illegal push by a man trying to get the ball. But I want to tell you, that young man, Poulard, has a ton of ability. He's 6'10", 220, and only a junior.
Battle now with 8 points in this game.
See, the amazing thing is Illinois must be shooting, what, 25, 30%?
Not very well.
Wouldn't you think? Not, certainly, I wouldn't think much more than that. but they are right now leading this basketball game, and now they're doing it with defense, and that's the sign of a good team. And you've got to play good defense in tournament competition.
24-21, Illinois by 3. Earlier in the half, Illinois went nearly 7 minutes without a basket. Now McNeese State is needing one here.
See, they've picked it up a notch defensively. They really have picked it up a notch. Look at this.
Kevin Williams, he was double-teamed, and he was able to successfully throw it off the leg of Nick Anderson, so the Cowboys will keep the ball.
One place you don't want to go. He went to the sidelines, turned his back to the court. They double-teamed him, and the sideline becomes the third defensive player, and he was lucky to get out of it.
Harris in trouble, but gets it to Thompson. Harris for 3. Off the back and out of bounds.
See, now what's happened, Mick, exactly what I said about 10 minutes ago about Illinois having no continuity in its half-court offense. Now they've taken McNeese out of its half-court offense. They're struggling offensively.
Pardo tries to get it inside. Illini will keep it. 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. McNeese down 3 on the defense. And a first half with streaks. Long baseline jumper by Battle. Another jump ball. It'll be Illinois basketball.
Bardo and Gigley. Bardo and Grigley just kind of patting each other on the back. Look at Illinois, none for 2. They aren't going to shoot a lot of them. McNeese State will shoot more than the Illini.
Hill gets it inside, and the Illini move it around quickly. Hill for 3. No. Bardo, an offensive rebound. Stephen Bardo.
See, and they weren't getting that earlier, and Poulard is out of that lineup. But see, that's one of the few stickbacks that Illinois has gotten, and boy, he leaped a ton to get it.
Illinois has scored 10 unanswered points.
I tell you, the intensity level in terms of both teams has picked up, boy. They're going after each other pretty well.
Kevin Williams to Grigley. McNeese really trying to find itself now with Poulard on the bench with 3 fouls.
Right. See, Thompson is not a big scorer. He's getting pretty good position, but they aren't pounding the ball inside to him very much.
Grigley went to the baseline and was fortunate to get a block on Illinois. You take a look at Poulard, who is on the bench with 3 fouls, but also not on the floor for McNeese State is Michael Cutright.
Absolutely.
Their
Both
top
of them.
2 players.
Absolutely. A 20-point-per-game man and a 17-point-per-game man. One of them has taken 476 shots. The other 367. You got your whole offense sitting on the bench.
So Grigley, the former Florida State Seminole defensive back, will go to the line. This is not to say that Grigley couldn't play basketball in high school, because he was a high school All-American in football and in basketball too.
That man's job, he does it perfectly. He keeps the game at the tempo that they want, and he keeps the game under control. He's the key to them, and he really coaches that team on the floor. Very mature young man. He's a 5th-year senior.
Yep.
Not looking to score, but he's going to do, as we said before, put the ball in the hands of the right people.
And they did miss him too earlier. He missed 10 games this year due to a pulled stomach muscle.
56% free throw shooter, and you can see why with those 2 that he just shot there.
Well, the shot clock is off now.
Sure.
So let's see if the Illini will play for the final shot.
They're just going to spread it out into kind of a 4-corner.
The big clock is at 20 seconds.
Here's my favorite saying. I've seen 90 times out of 100 possessions where teams at this stage wait much too long to get it going into their offense and don't wind up getting any kind of a good shot at all. They started at about the right time.
On the baseline, the long jumper by Battle. Anderson. And that's it. So the Illini do indeed get 2 opportunities to score the final points of the half and come up short. However, Illinois closes the first half with 10 consecutive points, and Lou Hinson's team heads to the locker room a 5-point leader. Our halftime score is Illinois 26, McNeese State 21. We'll be back after this message and a word from your local station. This is an NCAA Productions telecast.
I keep reading stories in the newspaper about people whose lives are ruined or ended by too much drinking or by taking drugs. Lots of times these people say their friends got them started with alcohol or other drugs. I always thought that friends are people who like you. Why would someone who likes you help ruin your life? Is that the kind of person you want to know or want to be? Real friends don't give people drugs.
This message furnished by the NCAA.
Son, getting those chores done, aren't you?
I'll get right to it, Dad.
In the driveways, the backyards, the playgrounds, and the barns, it's a part of growing up around here, where there's a tradition of great basketball.
Time out, son. The Illini are on.
And here is where the great tradition continues. It's time now for U of I basketball, brought to you by your Super Chevy dealers. In Central Illinois, we drive Chevy.
At Hardee's, we use 100% pure American beef because we never forget you can always go someplace else. At Hardee's, we use real dairy cheese because we never forget you can always go someplace else.
Get ready for more power. Magnum power. Magnum means more. More from totally new, bigger engines with 8% more displacement than the leading competitor. Delivering from 130 to 195 PTO horsepower. New engines, plus new cabs and a power shift transmission. All Magnum. Magnum tractors.
Check out Magnum tractors at George H. Dunn in Farmer City and at Berkey's Farm Store in Urbana.
Back here at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, where the Fighting Illini leading by a score of 26-21 over the McNeese State Cowboys. Mick Hubert along with Jim Gibbons, and we're glad you're with us for this first-round game in the NCAA Midwest region. Jim, I can see why coaches have such a tough time, because Steve Welch was concerned about the first 5 minutes. His worst fear was realized. His team got down, and then they played ball, and they took the lead against Illinois.
You were absolutely right. The first 5 minutes, they were getting high percentage shot, but they just weren't dropping. Illinois really got out of the starting game. Then all of a sudden, Illinois forgot to go into its half-court offense. They were using the gimmick defenses against them. They weren't being patient enough, and they went 7 minutes without scoring. But the thing that I liked is what I said, that they then turned it up a notch defensively. They got McNeese out of sync, and now they seem to be back in control a little more.
So it's a situation for McNeese. They've got to come out and run their offense a little bit.
They absolutely have to, and the other point I would make right now is Poulard has got to stay in this basketball game and play well for them to have a chance in the second half.
So the Illinois team has to be happy, scoring the final 10 points of the half to erase a 5-point deficit. Instead, they're up by 5. It is 26-21. And we'll return to the Hoosier Dome for more of our halftime activities in just a moment.
What you get out of a project depends on what you put into your workshop. So get Master Mechanic power tools from True Value Hardware Store. Like their high-speed finishing sander for just $44.99. Or their 1/3 horsepower variable speed jigsaw for only $34.99. Or get a Master Mechanic 1 3/4 horsepower plunge router for just $65.99. And their 7 1/4 inch circular saw for only $39.99 at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
You know, Cousin Buddy says that some dealers mark the price of their cars $800 to $2,000 more than the manufacturer's suggested price. Now, you know that's not right. But thanks to lower overhead, Rantoul Motors and Manley Ford can sell for less. The price you see on the sticker is the real price. And their salesman won't quote you a phony low price and then raise the price later. That Cousin Buddy. Rantoul Motors and Manley Ford. Route 136 West, Rantoul.
Last year, we told you how Marksman herbicide kept our cornfields consistently clean of tough broadleaf weeds.
Like velvet leaf, cockleburr, and triazine-resistant weeds.
This year, the folks at Marksman asked us if we could find anything as consistent as Marksman.
So we came out here.
Out to Old Faithful.
They say it goes off every 65 minutes.
That ought to be right now, fellas.
Marksman herbicide for consistently cleaner corn.
1988 was Dick Schultz's first full year as the NCAA's executive director. Schultz spoke recently with Frank Bowl of WDAF TV in Kansas City about a wide range of topics. Let's now take a look at part of that interview.
Dick, you spent a good portion of the first year and a half traveling the country, campuses all across the nation. What kind of feedback are you getting from them?
There are a lot of issues out there involving intercollegiate athletics, the structure of the NCAA, the integrity issues, everything else that goes along. And there's a real mood to make some positive change. And that's the exciting thing about it, that people are ready to do things differently. They're ready to do some refining of everything that we do. The only catch is that when you say people, well, what are the changes you'd like to see? You have about as many ideas as to what that change should be as number of people you talk to. And I think that's to be expected with the great diversity that we have in this organization.
What kind of message are you taking to those people?
I asked for a meeting with the chief executive officer, either the president or chancellor, a representative of their governing board, or members, their athletics director, their faculty representative. And the message that I'm bringing them is that the NCAA has tried for years to legislate integrity, and that's not possible. Our rules will help, but if we're going to have complete integrity, it starts right here. It's your institution, and we need a commitment to integrity from the governing board to the chancellor or president to the athletic directors to the coaches, and that we can solve that problem very quickly if we can get each individual institution to make that commitment.
We've been hearing now a lot about the rules and regulations of the NCAA being broken. Is cheating more prevalent now than before?
Well, first of all, the public perception is that everybody cheats, and that's not the case. And I think because of the rash of penalties that came down in December and early January, the impression is that we have more serious problems today than we've ever had. Actually, the converse is true. Our enforcement staff is up to full force, and they've been making a major effort to clean up investigations. All the penalties that you have seen in the last 60 days are things that were under investigation for at least the last 3 years. They don't represent what's going on in college athletics today.
There's been a lot of talk about perhaps banning beer ads in future telecasts of NCAA championship events. Where does that stand right now?
Actually, we've never said that we were going to ban them, but we said we were going to take a look at it, and this is not a new topic. We've been concerned about this for a number of years, and even in past negotiations, there's been attempts and successful attempts to reduce the amount of beer commercials that are contained. Right now, in our current contract, which runs through the 1990 Final Four, there is a maximum of 90 seconds per hour allowed for beer commercials. We would hope that we can reduce that number. We'd like to eventually be able to eliminate them, or at least reduce them to moderation or educational type announcements. We're very concerned about the message that might be going out to young people. Beer is not an illegal drug if it's used by people of legal drinking age, but it becomes an illegal drug for those who are not of drinking age. And the bare facts are that about 1/3 of the college students now are below the legal drinking age, and thousands of high school students and junior high school students and younger that watch our telecasts are. And we're really concerned about sending out mixed messages.
Time permitting, we'll see more of that interview later in this telecast. We'll be right back with more halftime activities after these words from your local station.
Why do people come to R&M Golf Supply? Because they let you take irons or woods that you're interested in to the golf course or driving range to see how they actually play. And remember, R&M will make adjustments if necessary to ensure that your clubs fit properly. R&M Golf Supply, Champaign and Decatur.
Get ready for quality, Magnum quality. Warranty coverage for a full 5 years or $5,000. More coverage on powerful engines. Magnum coverage. More protection on more efficient transmissions. Magnum protection. Full coverage from top to bottom, front to back. The best warranty and the best tractors in the business.
Check out Magnum tractors at George H. Dunn in Farmer City and at Berkey's Farm Store in Urbana.
You hear
hear a lot about working mothers nowadays. Is there really any other kind? With as many things to do as there are minutes in the day, there's not a more demanding role, nor one more important than raising children and making a home for your family. And while it sometimes seems that you don't hear it often enough, it can't be said enough. Thanks, Mom. Your Super Chevy dealers salute mothers, the heartbeat of America.
You're the heartbeat of America.
At Hardee's, we use 100% pure American beef because we never forget you can always go someplace else. At Hardee's, we use real dairy cheese because we never forget you can always go someplace else.
We're visiting with John Makovic, the athletic director and the head football coach at Illinois. I was just saying to you, John, it seems like this might be Assembly Hall. You've got so many fans here.
Yeah, we had a run on tickets that was unbelievable early in the week. It's great to see so many fans were able to be here.
Listen, I know how proud you all must be to have been picked as the #1 seed in Indianapolis.
Well, we're excited. I'll tell you, I think it also says something for the Big Ten because the strength of our conference and the way we played, we're extremely happy about it. We're, of course, happy to be close to home so many fans could see it, but we want to represent the Big Ten and the university very well.
Does it feel good to be back at the college level after having been with Kansas City? I imagine that's a big thrill for you.
Well, the college game has an excitement factor to it that is exciting. It's something special. College football is a lot like these tournaments, too. There's a lot of people involved in it.
Well, thanks for visiting with us. It's 26-21 here at halftime, and now we'll go to Mick Hubert with his special guest.
All right, Jim, we are joined here at halftime by the athletic director at McNeese State, Mr. Bob Hayes. And Bob, I know you have to be proud of your basketball team. It's a team coming in here 16-13, an underdog to the #1 seed, but it's the first ever appearance in the tournament for the Cowboys.
That's correct, Mick. We're excited about being here. There's 150,000 people down south watching us play a great game against a great team, and I'm very proud of our program right now.
Second year for Steve Welch at your school. Is this program on target?
His program's ahead of target as far as I'm concerned. As I say, I think he's done an outstanding job, and we'll represent McNeese very well the rest of the game.
It's tough when you get down 8-0 early, but I thought your team weathered the storm nicely.
We can't afford to do that in the second half, Mick. Behind 5 points, and we feel extremely good about this at this point in the game. But the first 4 minutes of the second half, I think, is very crucial to how we'll finish the night.
Bob, thanks for joining us. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed it.
Bob Hayes, the athletic director at McNeese State. It is 26-21. Illinois on top by 5, and we'll return to the Hoosier Dome for more following these messages.
One reason I chose Ohio Wesleyan was that I knew I wanted to play intercollegiate athletics. And Ohio Wesleyan, as well as the other schools in the Old Ohio Conference, have a strong tradition of making opportunities available for those students who do want to participate in intercollegiate athletics. Being part of a team has the kind of mutual self-sacrifices, the commitment to a common goal, and the need to communicate that prepare a student for a lot of different things later in life. I think one of the most important lessons I learned from playing soccer was that to win, you had to prepare. And as a team, we understood that we had to train, we had to practice, we had to set a game plan and stick to it. And that being prepared was often the difference on game day. And I think that preparing to win has a lot of application off the athletic field.
This message furnished by the NCAA.
It's the 1989 NCAA Basketball Championship. Brought to you by Rawlings Sporting Goods, maker of the official ball for NCAA Basketball Championships. By Pizza Hut, official corporate sponsor of the NCAA. And by the new generation of Oldsmobile. Step into the future now at your Oldsmobile dealer.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Hardee's. They're out to win you over. By True Value Hardware, your store of first choice. By your local Super Chevy dealers in Central Illinois, we drive Chevy. And by your Case IH dealers in Urbana, Farmer City, Oakland, Hoopeston, and Clinton.
Indianapolis, where Illinois has taken a 5-point halftime lead. It is 26-21. McNeese State, 16-13 on the season. They fell behind by 8 points to start the game and then battled back. Cutright leading the way with 9. Poulard in foul trouble with 3 fouls, had 5 points. Thompson 4, Davis 2, and Grigley had 1 for the Cowboys. And for Illinois, Kenny Battle with 9. Kendall Gill in the starting role tonight with 7. Hamilton and Bardo 4 each. Nick Anderson, the leading scorer, averaging 17.5. Jim has been held to 2.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just the point I was going to make. There's the field goal shooting. Both teams shooting only 33%. And we were curious to see what was going to happen. 2 more field goals for Illinois. The free throws, nothing significant right there. Neither team a real threat from a 3-point range. The turnovers, McNeese, that happened when Illinois picked up their defensive tempo a notch. The rebounding pretty even.
So for the McNeese State Cowboys, Michael Cutright, the leading scorer, and let's watch him work.
You bet. See, I said he's got that big pro-type body. Look at it. He just wormed his way right through there, got it off the glass, and got us 2.
The leading scorer in this game for McNeese, Michael Cutright with 9. And the leading scorer for Illinois, also with 9, is Kenny Battle.
Yes, and that's the heart and soul. See the presence of mind he had. Another dribble, and that would have been a charge that Cutright would have picked up, but he stopped, got the ball off the glass. That guy is the heart and soul of that club and a very emotional player, and he did pick them up when they picked up the defense tempo a little bit.
So McNeese State will inbound right in front of us here, so settle back and enjoy the second half.
Now, again, we talk about those 5-minute spurts. I do think McNeese State has to get out again out of the starting gate in the second half.
That's Harris, down low to Poulard, turning, shooting, and knocking it in. Big hoop for McNeese and Anthony Poulard.
That's why I said at halftime, he has got to stay in this basketball game. Cutright and Poulard have got to carry them the second 20 minutes.
Illinois swings it right to Anderson. And down low to Battle. The left-hander shooting and missing, and the rebound comes to Michael Cutright. Cutright, despite being only 6'4", averages at 5.5 rebounds per game. McNeese down 3 here, looking for a good beginning to the second half. Harris, top of the circle to Cutright. The loose ball picked up by Gill in the middle. Gill tried to thread the needle between 2 McNeese defenders, and one of them guilty of a foul. Jim, it's interesting. We've had both teams in droughts. Both teams nearly 7 minutes without a goal.
You bet, and that's one of the things you can't have happen to you in tournament play. You don't want, there's the reach in. Now, see, if he'd have reached in, if Terry would have reached in with his left hand, Mick, instead of reaching in with the right, there was no way he could do that with his right arm and not make contact. You got to use the left arm.
Lane jump shot for Lowell Hamilton. He's got 6. Back to a 5-point Illinois advantage.
I think Illinois went about 7 minutes without scoring, and I think McNeese went about 6:38 or something without scoring, and you can't have that happen to you.
Poulard trapped, double team. Illini pick his pocket, and Gill has it. Baseballs it down to Bardo. Bardo on the block and off the glass. Illinois gets another hoop.
Great move by Bardo, because he had Terry Grigley between himself and the other man, and he made the move and froze the defensive man and then went to the glass, and that was great recognition.
Just underway early in the second half. Illinois leading by 7 as Cutright works out in front. Spins into the lane. One-hander, left it short. Steve Wells went to the foul. Uncalled. Rebound to Illinois. Here comes Battle.
Got a man off the floor.
And we've got a foul called on McNeese, but you're right, Jim. McNeese was playing 4 against 5.
I don't know who it is, and he still hasn't gotten up. He's still down. I'm not even sure the officials know it. Well, I think finally they saw it.
Grigley is hurt.
When they were going after the loose ball all the way back about half court. Yes, and that's right. That's Terry Grigley who was going after it. He went down, and he hasn't watched now. He hasn't moved since. He has not moved. He pushed twice right there against Nick Anderson. Now watch. I don't know if he hit himself going off the floor. Again, we said in the afternoon game about that drop right there. This is the first movement he's made since the ball went all the way down to the other end, and I'm not sure the officials even knew that he had gone down.
Well, Jim, what's lost in all of this play, while McNeese had to play 4 against 5, is the fact that Anthony Poulard has been whistled for his 4th personal foul at the 18:05 mark in this game.
Wow. See, I was distracted because of that. And just so the fans will know, the officials cannot stop the play for this. They can't put Illinois at a disadvantage. And so they have to wait until the ball is dead or till McNeese gets possession of that ball. Now he's up. Terry Grigley has gotten up.
Well, Grigley, as we said, missed 10 games this year with a pulled stomach muscle, and it was right during a time in which the Cowboys went in the tank. They had lost 6 in a row. So he is very much valuable, despite only averaging 5 points a game.
Well, I can tell you, as I said earlier, they can hardly afford to lose that guy because he runs that whole team, and he's the coach on the floor, as I said, so it'll be interesting to see how they operate without him.
Nick Anderson has scored but 3. And now 4. The average is 17-6. This is the largest lead of the game.
Oh, that's
going to be Illinois basketball.
Yep. Dylan Battle put the trap on him. The ball bounced right off of his foot. Right off of the foot of Dwayne Davis.
So Illinois, with its 9-point lead, they opened with an 8-0 lead, and now their largest of the game at 17:50 in the half. Hamilton in the lane, running it in. Hamilton has 8. It's an 11-point lead for the Fighting Illini. And the press is causing McNeese all kinds of problems. Steve Welch is off the bench. Right now, the Cowboys are surrounded by Indians. The Illini.
Again, they're doing it with their defense because they've picked it up a notch.
With a foul call on Lowell Hamilton.
Illinois foul 45. Lowell Hamilton. His 3rd foul.
Hamilton with 3. Grigley is coming back for McNeese. See him kind of holding the abdomen area, and of course he had that full stomach muscle, so perhaps it was that was the problem there.
Well, against that full court pressure, they've got to get the ball in his hands.
Bardo kicks it out to Gill. Blocked nicely by Cutright. Great right for McNeese. On the lay-in.
Boy, and what a big turnaround. 3 straight times McNeese couldn't even get the ball off the floor. That's a big turnaround.
In a battle. And a foul called on McNeese State. Let's go back to the last sequence here, Jim, and take a look.
There's the shot. There's the block, and no contact. That's a good no call right there. Cutright gets it, takes a look ahead. There's Dwayne Davis. Nice lay-in. Now they got to get back and get in transition and play that defense. I'll tell you, the other thing I've noticed is not only have the Illini picked up the intensity level defensively, but the last couple of times that ball has gone up on that glass, they have been going a lot harder to the offensive board than they were in the first 20 minutes.
Kenny Battle has scored 11. It's an 11-point lead for the Illini. Grigley through the defense.
See, that's why they need that guy. He's one of the few that can break that pressure.
In front of Steve Welch, here's Michael Cutright. Cutright backing in. That's Dwayne Davis.
See, the switching defenses really help you against a guy like Cutright that likes to play one-on-one. They're trying to pick and screen for him, but they're simply switching on him, and they're not giving him any room to get his shots off. Good defense by Illinois.
Shot clock is at 5 seconds. Cutright for 3. No. Hamilton the rebound. Early, McNeese State dominated the glass. They had a 23-10 lead, Jim. It's starting to even up. And Bardo has knocked in a 3. He has scored 9, and Illinois is off to a lead here.
And now what I told you happened earlier, when Illinois couldn't get into its half-court offense, now McNeese is not getting into its half-court. That's a good timeout because they've got to regroup.
Time to regroup the troops indeed for the McNeese State Cowboys. They'll circle the wagons. 16:07 left. Illinois 39, McNeese State 25.
of pizza?
Me too. Nothing's better than a fresh, hot Pizza Hut pizza, and nothing's worse than not having enough. With loads of your favorite toppings and 2 layers of cheese, one's never enough.
Ready for the second pizza?
Pizza Hut, making it great. This new Olds Cutlass Calais International Series reminds me of me. It just won't quit. Fact is, I'm so revved on the new style and features, no way am I coming in. That quad 4 engine really cooks. My dad and granddad would love it. This is not your father's automobile. It sure suits me and Betty Joe. This is the new generation of Olds.
How about the president's on the phone? Heck, right?
A team without a true center, such as Illinois, with a lot of guards and forwards, you would figure they would shoot the three-point shot well, 45% on the season, and Bardo with a big hoop there.
And he's shooting 51%. Yeah. He's only taken 51, but he's 26 of 51. He's going to run that attack and get the ball in the hands of the right people. But he's capable of hitting that outside shot.
Kevin Williams in the game, and here's a steal for Illinois. Nick Anderson on the run-out. Couldn't get it to go, but he was fouled. Anderson will go to the line to shoot 2.
Perfect example. The 2 most important things in playing defense, and I keep saying it, are the ability to anticipate, and that's exactly what Kenny Battle did that time. The ability to anticipate, and the second thing is the willingness to sustain an effort. And boy, that was a great effort right there.
Anderson is a 68% free throw shooter. He was Mr. Basketball in Illinois in 1986 out of Simeon High School.
Did I say Battle? I did? Okay, I'm sorry. Nick Anderson. It's obvious since he's on the line, but that was a great effort, and he did everything very well. He anticipated and got right into that lane.
15:50 left in the second half. Illinois with its largest advantage, 40-25.
Boy, they're rotating and trapping very well. Once you turn your back, the Illini are going to be all over you, and they've got the quickness to do it, so you've got to keep looking straight ahead and then keep the ball off the floor in situations like that. See, they're forcing McNeese all the way out of their offense, Mick. They're doing the same thing that happened to Illinois in the first half. They're not letting McNeese play well right now. Look at the numbers.
Shooting is picked up considerably for Illinois. Cutright, a big hoop. 11 for Cutright. Going to be out of bounds for McNeese.
See, sometimes when teams don't play well, it's simply because the other team isn't letting you play well, and that's what happened to Illinois in the first half, and that's what's happening to McNeese right now at the other end.
Whistle and a foul is called there. Thompson picking up his foul. That'll be his second.
His first foul. His second foul.
And going to the free throw line for Illinois is the left-hander Kenny Battle, who started his collegiate career at Northern Illinois. In fact, in 2 seasons in DeKalb, Battle scored 1,072 points. He had 1,028 at Illinois, which meant that he started tonight with an even 2,100 career points, and there aren't many players that score 2,000 points in their career.
Lou Henson named an award after him, the Kenny Battle Hustle Award, and the young man, I mean, that's unbelievable. He hasn't even finished playing yet, and they've got an award named after him.
Illinois by 15 with 15 minutes left. Cutright on the baseline, a pull-up jumper. Michael Cutright with 13.
That's what every team needs, a guy that just takes over the game. They're struggling, McNeese, and boy, he said, I've got to do something about it. Last 2 possessions, he's made 2 really tough baskets, but he's canned them. That's the important thing.
Anderson on the baseline against a double team and a foul against McNeese State. Another thing, Jim, in relation to Cutright's scoring, McNeese is severely handicapped by the 4 fouls on Fuller.
Absolutely.
He has only 7 points and he's 4 fouls.
Now, that's a time I thought Nick should have gotten rid of the basketball. He was surrounded by 2 or 3 people. I thought he should have kicked it back out. They could have swung it around the perimeter. Then they would have had the big advantage and gotten themselves a much better shot.
Nick Anderson, an all Big Ten performer.
First team all Big Ten, yeah. The big plus for them is that they're leading this game 42-29, and he's having a big off night.
He has but 1 field goal, 4 free throws, a total of 6, and Illinois has a 14-point lead.
They're using the 2-2-1. They get out of the man-to-man, and they seem to be more effective with the 2-2-1 because they're able to trap more in it.
That's Cutright working the left side, out back to Dwayne Davis.
And I thought that was a good change at halftime. They made some changes at halftime that I like.
Cutright driving around Hill, and off the glass, Michael Cutright has 15. Cutright has averaged 29 over the last 6 games. Stephen Bardo, father's a professor at Southern Illinois Carbondale. Long jumper, Rebound saved by Illinois Anderson, and he's been fouled by Grigley.
There's an example. Nick is shaking his head, but there's nothing to shake your head about, because if he can continue to do these kinds of things, look at now, he isn't scoring, he's not having a good night offensively, but there are tons of other things you can do for a basketball team, and there's one of them right there. He's got himself back up on the free throw line again, and that's important. You play the good defense, you rebound, you get some garbage baskets, you get yourself to the free throw line. Those are all the kinds of things they need from a guy like Nick Anderson. He doesn't have to score all the time.
Anderson, 68% foul shooter, and as a team, Illinois is 71%.
The other thing I like, I know he's frustrated right now. No one, he knows he's a much better basketball player, but the thing I do like, Mick, is he's letting the game come to him. And that's what I like. I always like to see guys that are leading scorers, they don't score, and then all of a sudden they start to panic.
McNeese trying to beat the pressure defense. Sam Harris rocking across the timeline along the near sideline. It's really important, and I see that Davis is trying to do this. It's really important McNeese runs its offense and at least tries to get a good shot out of its offense.
Yeah, exactly.
No, good.
And for a while, they weren't doing that.
Cutright has 18. Look at Battle on the baseline. An explosive first step. Battle with a giant step along the baseline. He rammed it to the glass, knocked it in, and drew the foul against McNeese.
Boy, I want to tell you, if you ever saw a classic example of forcing the contact and finishing the shot, Thompson went after him. He got that Battle did the right. I know he's left-handed, but he got that right arm out to fend off that defensive man, Mark Thompson, who is 6'9", and there was no way that Kenny Battle was going to be denied of getting that ball in the basket.
So Battle now with a 16-point game, and Illinois has a 13-point lead. It's 47-34.
See, now against the 2-2-1, when they're trapping like that, you've got to keep the ball off the floor and pass it.
That's Poulard who's back in the game, number 23 for McNeese State.
No use waiting until it's too late to get him back in. So I'm sure that's why Steve Welch made the move.
Yeah, the future is now.
That's right.
Cutright, no. Tipped and saved by Davis. Harris. That's a 3.
And a shot he had to take. Wide open, nobody near him, you've got to shoot it.
McNeese has cut it to 10. Harris gambled and lost, and Anderson blows by him on the baseline and then kicks it off. Oh, a nice play. McNeese gambled, they were burned. Hamilton has scored 10.
They give all the credit to Hamilton. I mean, besides the fact that Anderson saw him and made a spectacular pass, but instead of standing out on the perimeter, he knew that they had rotated. He came in, got himself right in a position to get the pass and get the lay-in. That is great recognition and good execution.
Harris, nice entry there to Poulard. Poulard's second effort is good. Poulard now has 9. He's been in double figures. 25 games this year, but taking a long time to get there tonight. Short. Out of bounds. Illinois will keep it. Illinois came into this game with a 6-game winning streak, 9 of its last 10. Played very well down the stretch and earned the #1 seed, much to the chagrin of the Indiana Hoosiers. Battle, baseline jumper, no. Anderson a turnaround, yes. Anderson with 9. 12-point lead for the Illini. 11-11 left in the second half. It's like the Illini are having fun right now.
They are. They're having fun, and they're doing it defensively, and that's why I'm admiring it so much. A lot of people don't like to play defense, and you have to really want to play it. And, you know, most teams probably shoot the ball, Mick, within 15 or 20 seconds, and I don't think that's too much to ask a player to give you everything they've got for 15 or 20 seconds. And I say, if I'm coaching or if I were, if you're going to rest on me, rest on offense. Don't rest on me on defense.
Marcus Liberty, number 30, back for Illinois. Marcus made 22 starts for Illinois this year, but with Gill back, he was forced into reserve duty here tonight. 11 minutes left. Illinois leads by 12. McNeese trying to get a key hoop. Shot by Cutright, no, and the rebound, Hamilton knocked away as Cutright kept it alive, and he's going to fire the 3. Liberty rebounded. Liberty goes coast to coast. Here's a breakout for McNeese, but Davis doesn't see the guy.
Oh, he didn't. He should have turned sooner and looked for the secondary people in the break and looked for the trailers. But he broke down the whole thing, first of all, by not seeing the guy that was out in front of him, and secondly, by not getting those trailers.
Whistle, foul called. As Harris launched the long shot.
40? Is that what
yeah, it's 40 against McNeese. That should be the 4th foul against Mark Thompson. So now Thompson has 4, and Poulard has 4, and they are the big men inside for McNeese.
Take a look at the board, Nick. 17 fouls, which means Illinois at 10-18 left in the 1-and-1. Look up there how many team fouls on the Illini. 1. And they're the ones that are playing that man-to-man defense.
So Davis is out of the McNeese lineup. Grigley is back. And Hamilton on the line, only a 59% free thrower. Hamilton has scored 1,194 points and counting. He's 13th on the all-time Illini scoring list. Look at Gill get in. Just didn't quite have enough, but it was last touched by McNeese, so Gill's hustle pays off. 52-39, Illinois by 13, and make it 15, as Hamilton now has 13 points in the game. This equals the largest Illinois lead. Big hoop for Thompson. That's his 6th point. Power move. Hamilton now is going on a tear. He has 11 of his 15 in the second half. Cutright. That was deflected. Harris, a putback. No goaltender. McNeese State's bench explodes on the sideline. There's no call. Illinois has the ball. A 15-point lead. And Smith off the glass. A 17-point lead for the Illini.
Going to get another timeout because it's getting away from him slowly but surely. And Steve Welch wants to talk to the officials because he's still upset about the no call on what he thought was a goaltend.
A big second half for Illinois. 9:15 left, and the Illini have built a 17-point lead.
Get ready for more power. Magnum power. Magnum means more. More from
totally new, bigger engines with 8% more displacement than the leading competitor, delivering from 130 to 195 PTO horsepower. New engines, plus new cabs and a power shift transmission. All Magnum tractors.
See Berkey's Farm Store in Hoopston, Oakland Farm Supply in Oakland, and George H. Dunn in Clinton.
At Hardee's, we use 100% pure American beef because we never forget you can always go someplace else. At Hardee's, we use real dairy cheese because we never forget you can always go someplace else.
Even though I never told you, you were special. You had so much more to teach than the 3 R's. I talk about you now and then, and when I do, everyone had a teacher just like you. Dedicated, hardworking, caring. If I knew then what I know now, I would have thanked you a long time ago. Your Super Chevy dealers salute teachers, the heartbeat of America.
To the heartbeat of America.
The NCAA wants your opinion about the three-point line. Would you like to see the three-point line remain the same? If you do, call 900-260-6301. Or if you'd like to see it move back to the international distance, call 900-260-6302. Or if you'd like to see it move to the pro distance of 23 feet 4 inches, call 900-260-6303. You will be charged 60 cents per call. This is Mick Hubert along with Jim Gibbons here at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, where with 9:01 left in our second half, the top seed in the Midwest region, Illinois, has built a 17-point lead against the McNeese State Cowboys. Illinois leading 58-41. It was only a 5-point lead for the Illini at the half. They managed that 5-point halftime lead, and they scored the last 10 points. There's a nice block out, and it will be returned to McNeese.
The Illini are now shooting 41%, Mick, but McNeese still only 38%. Look at, there are the numbers right there on the field goal shooting.
Hovering around the 40% mark. Illinois without a 3. McNeese has fired twice as many. And the shot clock has expired. Illinois forced McNeese into draining the entire 45. Steve Welch says we have to be patient and run the offense, but that's a little bit ridiculous. No shot. Kendall Gill out of Rich Central High School in Madison, Illinois.
They're still zoning. Looks like a 3-2 right now. They've been matching them and zoning most of the game. A little triangle 2, which they started in, but they can't match up with them in a man-to-man.
Gill tried to draw the foul, but there was no Academy Award there. The referee wasn't buying it.
And the other reason he's zoning is because he doesn't want to get beat up inside and let them get the second and third stickbacks.
Yeah, the turnovers are really hurting the Cowboys. 15-6 overall, but 6-1 in the second half. And there is another giveaway. Here come the Illini out on the break. Gill saves it, but to Tab Harris. McNeese has the ball. And now they have the numbers 3-on-1. Cut right on the baseline. Had the shot and turned it down. Harris reverses to the top. Cut right. Great entry for Poulard. Poulard knocked it in. 11 for Poulard. Or they gave it to Thompson. There's the alley-oop, Illinois, but Liberty missing. Anderson. 11 for Nick Anderson.
See what I was saying about him earlier? He's doing it in a different kind of a way, and he's getting his points slowly but surely, but he's contributing in a lot of ways.
7:15 remaining. Illinois 60, McNeese State 43. Lou Henson has his team in the tournament for the 7th straight year, and this is the first time ever that Steve Walsh has brought a team here. His second year at McNeese. Cowboys champions of the Southland Conference.
You can see Marcus Liberty, boy. He has really improved, and he's been in double figures in 6 of the last 9 games. Got a lot of playing time when Kendall Gill was hurt, and that has made him a stronger team.
Great entry inside to Mark Thompson. And the foul is on Marcus Liberty. West Virginia leading by 17 over Tennessee in the second half. West Virginia, the higher-seeded team there. Or we should say the lower-seeded team, but the favorite. Thompson, Jim, is a 29% free thrower.
Yep, they when I did my research, said, I want to tell you he's a very bad free throw shooter. When I looked and saw 29%, they didn't have to tell me anything. 33 out of 112 coming into the game.
Less than 7 minutes to go here.
And you don't want to get me started on free throw shooting, because I happen to be a fanatic about it.
Great feed. Larry Smith just laid it right up there and said, here, Nick Anderson, 2 points. Anderson has 13. 19-point lead.
And now they've gone back into the man-to-man press. They're out of the 2-2-1, but they're going to double if they get a chance.
Cut right. Spinning, shooting, missing. The Cowboys shooting blanks here. Gill, beautiful fingertip roll. Gill has 9, Jim, and it's a 21-point Illini lead.
McNeese is only getting 1 shot here, and what Illinois is doing now is they're releasing people, and McNeese is getting back in defensive. See, look at Illinois's got another 3-on-1 right now. See, they are really starting to release people and get the easy, fast breaks.
Liberty lost the handle. Here's Cutright, and Cutright lays it in. Cutright now has 20 points in the game. He averages 20. Lou says, let's run some clock here.
See, it looks like they're in a 1-2-2 or a 3-2. It's probably a 3-2 with a point drop, and he's got Poulard out there so that he won't get himself in foul trouble, but he can really distract people out on that point.
Kendall Gill missing, and Thompson the rebound. Thompson averages 7 rebounds a game to lead McNeese. Cowboys aren't out of it yet, but they're going to have to start putting some points on the board quickly. 5 minutes left. They're going to need some threes, and they're only a 36% three-point shooting team. Wrigley tried to force it. Illinois picked it off. Smith on the run out, leaves it for Gill, and Gill changes it. Gill has 11. The lead is 21. It is 66-45. Steve Welch says, timeout McNeese. 4:42 left, and they're breathing more easy in Champaign-Urbana. It's Illinois 66, McNeese State 45.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Burgers don't have it. Pizzas don't have it. Only one place has it. Cross the road to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Only Kentucky Fried Chicken has the Colonel's original recipe of 11 herbs and spices. So when you want that one and only taste, come on over to our side of the road.
Cross the road to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah. Cross the road, cross the road.
The 1989 Buick Regal. It brings a new kind of style to the American road.
It's a regal new feeling, a style that's appealing, the look of a Buick today. The great American road was made for Regal. The Regal new style, the pride in the smile. It's the road that a Regal will live. Oh, the great American road belongs to Buick.
Get reliable help around the house with electrical products from True Value hardware stores. Like the 48-inch shop light by American Fluorescent for just $8.88. Improved connections with this Electropack 7-outlet center, only $5.99. The Master Electrician 25-foot trouble light with circuit breaker is just $9.99. And the heavy-duty TrueGuard plug-in timer is only $5.49 at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Watch the unselfishness here of Larry Smith.
You bet. He knew that guy was going to distract him. He knew he had Kendall Gill coming up right behind him. Watch Gill again on the left-handed move, and watch the finger roll. He didn't get the charge, just laid it right up over the top of the rim.
The Illini doing it all here in building a 21-point lead. Dwayne Davis comes back to Michael Cutright. Illinois 27-4, and they're 12-2 against teams that made this NCAA tournament. McNeese State is 0-4 against teams that are in the tournament. Cutright comes to the top of the circle, bounced it off his shoe. Liberty picks it up. Liberty centers the break. Liberty, the Bardo whistle, traveling call against Illinois.
I thought Marcus had turned it over right there when he got into the lane. He had the right idea, boy. He had the wings filled on both sides of him, and he was handling the ball very well, and it just got away from him at the last second.
We approach the 4-minute mark left in this game. Illinois, which led by just 5 at the break, increasing it to 21. Dwayne Davis for 3, an air ball. Steve Welch, you heard Athletic Director Bob Hayes say, "I'm so pleased with the job he's done. We're actually a year ahead of schedule." So there's a bright future in Lake Charles for the McNeese State Cowboys. Left-hander Battle. 18 for Battle. 23-point lead for the Illini. Cutright, 14-footer, rimming good. 22 for Cutright.
They're out of the zones now and into a man-to-man because that's all they can do. They just can't afford to sit in that zone because they stay in the zone. And then obviously Illinois is just going to burn time off the clock and play right in. McNeese is going to play right into their hands. They're in a man-to-man, and we said earlier they just weren't going to be able to match up in a man-to-man defense with Illinois. Cutright came right over and tried to make sure that Hamilton didn't get the slam.
So Lowell Hamilton on the line, 15 points in the game, 11 in the second half. Hamilton, one of 8 children, prepped at Providence St. Mel High School in Chicago. And Kenny Battle goes out. Lou Henson shakes his hand, says, "Good job, Ken." 18 points for Battle. Irvin Small is in the Illini lineup. A 23-point lead for the Orange and Blue. Dwayne Davis. Cutright. Small the rebound. Liberty with a spin move. Here comes Terry Grigley. That's knocked out of bounds by Bardo. It'll be McNeese basketball. So Illinois will run the record to 28-4. The Cowboys will close at 16-14, and 37,000 plus watching here in the Hoosier Dome. Poulard, that's only his 11th point. Marcus Liberty against the defensive Cutright. Well, there's a great feed to Small on the block, and McNeese has fouled. Liberty will go to the line. Check that, make that Small to the line.
Yeah, there it is. Watch the body contacts. He got him down below and then got him. Cutright did with the reach in and the slap right there at the top. Big second half for Hamilton, as you said, Nick.
Yeah, he had 13 of his 17 in the second half. Irvin Small with his first point. You know, Small and Anderson teamed together at Simeon High School in Chicago a couple of years ago. Small has played in every Illinois game, and he has a point here tonight. 22-point lead for Illinois. 2.5 minutes remaining. Cutright blowing down the lane, but Out of bounds. The Cowboys will get it back. Cut right. Gets it low to Poulard. A tough shot. 13 for Poulard. They're down 20. What they need now, McNeese, is Joe Dumars. They need him back.
You bet.
The all-time leading scorer now in the NBA.
I tell you, I have really been impressed with Poulard. I think he's a quality basketball player.
Larry Smith has 4. Wrigley to Davis. Cut right. He's lighting them up now. He has 24. 73-53. And a foul here. It's on Wrigley. You know, McNeese has long been exceeded the 7-foul limit, and Illinois has still only committed 3.
And that's, as I said earlier, that is pretty astonishing because, boy, they picked it up intensity-wise with their man-to-man, and also they were using the full court 2-2-1 and the man-to-man. You'll see the contact right at the tail end, right in there.
So here now is Marcus Liberty. Cut right rebounding. Cut right. 26 for Cut right. Cut right now has 1,701 career points. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be retained by Illinois. Since the tournament expanded to 64 teams a few years ago, never been a number 16 seed win a game, and that'll hold true here. The top-ranked Illini will win this one. That was a pretty move by Dwayne Davis.
Dwayne Davis.
73-57, less than a minute to play. Cowboys on a run out, get the ball. Harris. That's 3. Hey, these guys don't know time's running out.
Nope, I was wondering how long it was going to take before they started calling timeouts after they made one.
There is a timeout with 48 seconds left, and the score is Illinois 73, McNeese State 60.
It's a gamble. Each spring they wonder what the weather and what the price of things will bring. But it's the only work most farmers know, and there isn't anything else they'd rather do. There have been better times than now. A few have been worse, but self-reliance makes you a survivor. The next time you sit down to a meal, remember the hard-working folks that put food on our tables. Your Super Chevy dealers salute farmers, the heartbeat of America.
The heartbeat of America.
Get ready for quality, Magnum quality. Warranty coverage for a full 5 years or $5,000. More coverage on powerful engines, Magnum coverage. More protection on more efficient transmissions, Magnum protection. Full coverage from top to bottom, front to back. The best warranty and the best tractors in the business.
See Berkey's Farm Store in Hoopston, Oakland Farm Supply in Oakland, and George H. Dunn in Clinton.
Шум. Ну почему только шум?
Not very long ago, America introduced Pepsi to the Soviet Union. And while it may be just a coincidence, a lot of refreshing changes have taken place ever since. Pepsi, a generation ahead.
Here are the McNeese State Cowboys getting a nice hoop from Dwayne Davis. And the Cowboys have fought back, and they're trailing by 13, but there are only 48 ticks left on the clock. What's the odds of this? West Virginia 73-60 over Tennessee. Significant because that's our score here, 73-60. 42 seconds left in this one here in Indianapolis. And on the line, trying to add more for Illinois, is Marcus Liberty. with a couple. 75-60. Tough game for the Cowboys, but they're still firing away. Harris has his third three-pointer, 9 for Harris, 75-63. Oh! Did he come out of nowhere with Smith? He blew it right down the middle. 6 for Smith. Harris. We're going out in a blaze of glory here, the Cowboys are. Smith has 4 bombs, 12 points. McNeese is down by 11 with 11 seconds left. Here's Cutright taking it away. Cutright, he's been fouled. That should be an intentional foul. Ooh, he got pushed on his way out.
And they did call it. Nice going. I'm going to tell you, he was pushed. And I just don't seem to understand it because there's only a couple of ticks left on the clock.
P.J. Bowman, a junior from Champaign. So they'll move everybody off the lane.
You bet.
And allow Cutright.
He's got his 2 shots.
Yep.
And then they're going to get the ball out of bounds right underneath the basket.
And now it's time for Steve Welch to diagram that 6-point field goal. Because they need a couple of them. Maybe they need a touchdown.
Same thing I said in the last game when Loyola Marymount was out of it at the end and they played so hard. I'll say the same thing about McNeese, boy. They haven't backed off one step and they've played very hard for 40 minutes. Very, very hard.
Cowboys will inbound it. Down 9. Harris. He hit 5 3-pointers in the second half. All 15 of his points in the second half. The Cowboys went down with their guns blazing, but Lou Henson's team has escaped an upset, and they were impressive with a strong second-half performance. That's the end of the game here from the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Your final score is Illinois 77, McNeese State 71.
Your business has a big future. Keeping daily operations running smoothly can take up a lot of your time and resources. Marine Bank's corporate banking professionals can help you prepare for tomorrow with long-range planning and, most importantly, financing options you may not have considered. Talk to a Marine corporate banker. We'll help you with the future of your business.
We've been talking, we've been listening. Talk to us. Talk to Marine.
It's time to visit one of the world's great garden spots. The Lawn and Garden Department at your local True Value hardware store, where you'll find this dependable deluxe Lawn Chief 20-inch mower with 3.5 horsepower engine for just $149.88. The Poland 16-inch gas chainsaw with accessories is only $139.99. And this powerful electric blower from Weed Eater clears debris fast for just $25.88. At participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
At Hardee's, we use 100% pure American beef because we never forget you can always go someplace else. At Hardee's, we use real dairy cheese because we never forget you can always go someplace else.
Mick Hubert back at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, where the Fighting Illini of Illinois have knocked off the McNeese State Cowboys 77-71. Let's join Jim Gibbons courtside now with winning coach Lou Henson.
Lou, congratulations. I know it's always a blessing to get that first one out of the way.
Well, Jim, it certainly is. I think most of the upsets occur in the first round, and I thought we played a very good second half. We moved the ball, we shot the ball well, our defense is much better, so we were very pleased with the second half until we put a lot of the young ones in there at the end, and they didn't play well.
Yeah, but that's going to happen, and you know that.
Sure, our young ones wanted to go ahead and score, and they got a little bit too eager, but we had an excellent second half.
I thought in the first half, Lou, you got out of the starting gate, McNeese didn't, and I knew they would be nervous. I thought that you struggled then in your half-court offense against their gimmicks, their matchup, their triangle and 2, the kinds of things that they were doing. But then, boy, I thought your defensive intensity was spectacular.
Jim, early in the ball game, you're absolutely right. We did get out and get on them, but then after that, I thought we put up a lot of quick shots. We were open when we'd pass the ball, so the guys are used to shooting it, and some of the time in a triangle and two, and that's what they were using. We wanted to maybe pass it a little bit more, but we missed a lot of easy shots in the first half.
How about Kendall Gill? I know that you were 8-4 when he was gone, 19-0 when he's in your lineup, and I know the dimension he brings. You've got to be ecstatic about having him back.
Jim, we're really happy about Kendall Gill. He does a lot for a ball club, offensively as well as defensively. He gives us the good chemistry. Now, he didn't have one of his better ball games today, but that's to be expected. He's had 2 outstanding ball games since he returned, and I think he will come back and play much better at the next ball game.
The one thing I was talking about, Nick Anderson. I was anxious to see him play. I haven't seen too many of your games, but I know he was struggling, but the point I was trying to make, Lou, is that there are so many other things that a basketball player can do if he isn't scoring, and that's what I sensed that Nick started doing after a while.
Well, he certainly did, Jim. He did a good job on the boards the first half and also on the second half. He started taking the ball to the basket, and I thought his defense was very good in today's game.
Well, the one last thing I want to ask you about, you have to be mighty proud to be the #1 seed here in Indy. I think that's a great compliment to you.
Well, we feel good about that. That's a tribute to the young men we have. Jim, they've worked very hard, and they've dedicated themselves to having a good year, and I'm really proud of it.
Well, I'm really delighted that I finally got a chance to meet you, Lou, and good luck to you because you're a classy guy.
Thank you,
Jim.
Jim.
Good luck to you, and good luck to the Illini. Let's go back to Mick Hubert.
So we had a high-scoring second half as Illinois got 51. McNeese State had 50, but the Illini win it by the final of 77-71. We'll return for some final thoughts here from the Hoosier Dome in just a moment.
Get ready for more power. Magnum power. Magnum means more. More from totally new, bigger engines with 8% more displacement than the leading competitor. Delivering from 130 to 195 PTO horsepower. New engines, plus new cabs and a power shift transmission. All Magnum. Magnum tractors.
Check out Magnum tractors at George H. Dunn in Farmer City and at Berkey's Farm Store in Urbana.
There are hundreds of ice creams to choose from, but one brand is truly outstanding, Prairie Farms.
Prairie Farms ice cream is made the old-fashioned way, with country, fresh, quality ingredients and all natural flavors.
Prairie Farms, Prairie Farms.
It's Mid-America's favorite ice cream, in cones, as a snack, anywhere, anytime. Prairie Farms, home of country, fresh, quality dairy products.
Buy a Chevy truck and your Super Chevy dealers will throw in the automatic transmission, no charge. With the full-size Chevy truck, you get more payload than Ford and the automatic transmission, no charge. More cab room than Ford and the automatic transmission, no charge. Better highway gas mileage than Ford and the automatic transmission, no charge. A heavier frame than Ford and the automatic transmission, no charge. This no-charge automatic transmission offer will end soon. Savings like these are why in Central Illinois we drive Chevy.
Illini of Illinois have posted a 77-71 victory over the McNeese State Cowboys, and we have with us now one of the winning members of the Illini team, the senior center, despite standing just 6 feet 7 inches tall, Lowell Hamilton, 17 points and 3 rebounds, and the key really, I think, was your intensity in the second half. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. We had a slow start in the first half, and we didn't play our game. We didn't play the running game, and it kind of probably got us psychologically. In the second half, I think we came out with a lot more confidence, started playing our game, started running the ball, playing a lot harder.
Defense was really a factor in this game. Poulard was also in foul trouble for them, and with him not in there, it makes it a lot easier for you guys to operate.
Yeah, defense. I think we played defense throughout the game. I thought we played good defense, and that probably helped us more than anything.
You had 17 points, and one of the plays came on a nice alley-oop. You got some great passing in this game. You can take a look now, Lowell, and watch your teammates here working, and this is going to be a nice play here.
Yeah, Nick, he drove the ball in like he throw the ball in like Coach always asking him to do, and that draws the crowd because my man has to come over and help, and that's what he did, and he made a nice dish off.
You had an even scoring game. I think you had 9 points in the first half and 8 in the second half. Was it important for you individually to do well early and make those first couple of shots that you did?
Yeah, I think everybody needs that. That helps your confidence, I think, and I felt good coming into the game also. You know, with the foul trouble, you know, that kept me from, you know, getting into the game like I really wanted to. So it kept me on the bench, rather. In the second half, I was determined to come out and play my game.
Number 1 seeded team, and you won here tonight. You have to feel good about escaping that first round.
Oh, yeah, we feel real good about it.
Thanks, Lowell. Congratulations. Good luck in the next round.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Lowell Hamilton, the Fighting Illini center, who had 17 points. 77-71, the final score here at the Hoosier Dome. And now let's join Jim Gibbons.
I'm standing with Kenny Battle, the young man that's been called the heart and soul of the Illinois basketball team. Kenny, I said to Coach that I thought you people struggled offensively in the whole first half, but I thought the defensive intensity was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, you know, in the first half, I think we forced a couple of shots, and our shots wasn't falling, and our offense wasn't really working. But our defense held us in there, you know, and we ended up being up 5 at halftime. We was pretty proud of that because, you know, our offense struggled, but our defense picked us up, and, you know, that's good for us. Hopefully we continue to get both of them clicking again.
Did you make any adjustments at halftime? I thought that there were some things made. I thought you were more patient in your half court. I thought you changed into a 2-2-1 press, some different things.
Yes, you know, at halftime, Coach told us some things we was doing wrong, and we came back out, and everybody, you know, just pulled together. We picked up on our press a little more. We applied more pressure to the press, and we got like 3 or 4 turnovers in a row, and I think that was a turning point in the game because we was able to convert on all the steals we got, and everything just worked out for us. Our offense started to click, and our plays was working for us, and everything took over from there.
Okay, we're going to look at the monitor here, Kenny, because they're telling me we've got a play that we can show. Take a look, and maybe you can describe it here.
Yeah, Lowell gave me a pass on the baseline, I should say, and no one was there, and I took it in, and I drew some contact, and just laid it off the glass, and he called three-point play.
Well, I said you had a 6'10" guy coming right at you, and you didn't take one step backwards. You got the right arm out there to keep him away and did a terrific job. I know you're the number 1 seed. I know you're proud of that, and I say congratulations tonight. The first one's always the toughest, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kenny, for stopping by. Mick, now back to you.
All right, Jim, the Illini have won this game here tonight by the final score of 77-71, their 7th consecutive victory. We wish to take this opportunity to thank NCAA Basketball Committee Representative Tom Frericks, Tournament Manager Jim Schaefer, and Tournament Media Coordinator Chris Denari. From McNeese State, Athletic Director Bob Hayes, Head Basketball Coach Steve Welch and his staff, Sports Information Director Louis Bonnet. And from the University of Illinois, Athletic Director John Makovic, Head Basketball Coach Lou Henson and his staff, and Sports Information Director Tab Bennett. This telecast is a production of the NCAA Communications Department. Dave Kaywood, Assistant Executive Director. The executive producer of NCAA Productions is Jim Marchione. Productions Coordinator, Gina McNeese. This game was produced by Bill Spiegel, directed by Lou Rainoni. For Jim Gibbons, this is Mick Hubert saying so long from the Hoosier Dome. Once again, the final score, Illinois 77, McNeese State 71. This has been an NCAA Productions telecast.